The Great Smoky Mountains National Park has 9 million visitors per year on average, which is triple the amount of visitors that go to Yellowstone. It's the most visited national park in the federal system, and it has 4 visitor centers: the Occofalanti Visitor Center on the North Carolina side, the Sugarlands Visitor Center on the Tennessee side, the Clingman's Dome Visitor Center, which is a very popular day trip location, and then Cades Cove, which is in a very remote district of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. That's going to be our destination today. There's no EV infrastructure. In fact, even when you rent a campsite, there's no electrical hookups whatsoever. So this is a very challenging EV road trip destination. I'm going to punch through the southern border of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park after staying a day in Cades Cove at their campsite and take a day trip on the Cherohala Skyway, which is a scenic byway maintained by the National Forestry Service. It's supposed to be very beautiful. Never been on it, so I'm definitely looking forward to including that. This should be a fun EV road trip. Definitely a charging desert. So this is going to be quite a trick. Here we go. Haywood County, North Carolina is what I call no man's land. It's the dead spot in between Asheville, North Carolina and Knoxville, Tennessee. One thing it does have going for it, though, is because there's not a lot around here, it attracts a lot of people who are outdoor adventurers. So there are a few towns that cater to that type of people, and I being one of them. As a result, there are some chargers around here. Specifically, there's an amusement park called Dollywood of Dolly Parton fame. She's from around here apparently. And right outside Dollywood is a town called Pigeon Forge. So there are chargers there, and that's going to be our destination where we get our last fill up before heading into the Great Smoky Mountains National Park and the final push into Cades Cove. This is the last DC fast charger I'm going to see for about a day. The goal here is to recoup the energy I've burned off since I filled up in Asheville. There's one more level 2 charger that I'm going to hit before heading into Cades Cove. At that level 2 charger, I'm going to see if I can get to 100%. The reason being is after I camp at Cades Cove, I'm not coming back this way. I'm going further south where there is no DC fast chargers, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to do for charging. There's a couple of options, but really I haven't figured it out yet. The area is called the Tail of the Dragon, and it's known for being very remote and having very windy roads. That's where we're going to hook up with the Cherohala Skyway. So, with the future unknown, the goal here is to try to get our battery up to as close to 100% as we can before heading into Cades Cove and we start burning off battery without knowing where our next charge is coming from. If you look at a satellite image of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, you'll see that it's completely covered in trees, except for one little bit in the southwest that kind of looks like an oak leaf. That oak leaf is Cades Cove. It was a settlement before the park was established, and when the boundaries of the park were laid out and Cades Cove was within it, the National Park Service left it as it was. There was one or two buildings that they moved into the cove, but basically it's just left as it was. It reflects a way of life that has long since been forgotten, except for here. There's houses, churches, farms, and just a glimpse into how life used to be in a bygone era. Kind of feels like home. It really does. It's raining outside right now. I'm just kind of hunkered down. Going to start exploring the cove after breakfast in the morning. Cades Cove Loop is a one-way road that goes for 11 miles around Cades Cove. First stop is the John Oliver Place, which is a cabin by a land prospector. Initially it was a Cherokee structure, and then he later modernized with a cabin. Let's go inside and take a look how it was like. From what I understand, downstairs was cooking and the living area, and then upstairs was the sleeping area. Not all cabins of this era had this much space or glass windows. This one did. I'd say it's probably about 20 foot square, if I had to guess. Obviously no running water. Those to say no electricity, just a fireplace. A few sparse pieces of furniture, I would imagine. The beams. And one hell of a view. You can see the construction is hewn logs with mud thatch to provide insulation between the logs. And one thing that was in short supply were nails. So if they ever had to move, they didn't move the house, they just burnt it down. And then after it was ash, they picked up the nails and moved on to the next place. But there's Mr. Oliver's front yard and his view every morning. This is looking into Cades Cove. here at the Primitive Baptist Church. It's a really beautiful morning. A volunteer for Cades Cove just was inside trying to get pictures. Apparently the original builders of the church, when they were lifting the beams, left oil handprints that can be seen now that time has taken its toll. She was trying to get some picture of the handprints in the beams in the ceiling, but apparently it was a little too dark. We'll go in and take a look at the inside of the church here in just a minute. Gonna walk around the outside first. Very simple church, just a single room, single story, with a pulpit, benches for the choir, and benches for the congregation. No air conditioning, no lighting, no heating, just a place that's sheltered from the weather in order to come and worship once a week. I started early into Cades Cove on the loop, about 7 o'clock in the morning. The traffic is definitely picking up. We're here at the Methodist Church, which is very similar construction. It's a single room, one story, no amenities like electricity, heat, or air conditioning. Very simple structure. Let's go inside. My intention was to take this Parson Branch Road, which is right here, to the southern border of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, and then punch through into what's known as the Tail of the Dragon. I was talking to a volunteer this morning, though, and she said this road has just opened today for the season. They close it during the wintertime, and today is the first day that it's open. And it rained last night. Now, that gave me a little bit of pause, and she said there's a Jeep run that's going to be going down this road later today. The whole bunch of Jeep enthusiasts are going to be taking that road into the tail of the dragon. And so that sounds good. And she says they don't open it if it's not ready for traffic. And again, good. But then she said something that gave me the big nope. She said there's 6 water crossings. And my car just ain't made for water crossings. Plus, it's my wife's car. Anyway, so I'm going to find an alternate route into the tail of the dragon after I finish the Cades Cove loop. I was thinking about my options for how to get to the tail of the dragon and to the Cherohala Skyway now that my primary route is blocked. And when the volunteer said water crossings, what she was talking about is not bridges that go over water. Is the road goes down into water and you come on out, which is fine for a Jeep or other off-road vehicle, but not my Volvo. So I believe what I'm going to do is get on 441, which right now I'm on the Tennessee side of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. That will cut me over to the Occoquan Visitor Center on the North Carolina side. And in Cherokee, there's some nice DC fast chargers. I'll fill up there and then head on off to the Cherohala Skyway. I'm going to hang out here in Cades Cove a little bit more. I'm at the Visitor Center. There's plenty to see and do, and I think I also have a little bit of late breakfast, early lunch. Bit of a curiosity. The ranger in the Visitor Center said that the bears have really become a bit of a pest, and for me to haul my trash out of here because there's no trash cans anywhere in this Visitor Center complex. Reason being, apparently bears have very acute sense of smell, and one of them wandered into the ladies' bathroom. 400-pound bear had to be tranquilized and hauled off. Anyway, getting ready to head on out of Cades Cove and into the second leg of this EV road trip to the Cherohala Skyway via US 441 through the Great Smoky Mountains National Park into Cherokee, North Carolina, and then down towards the Dragon Tail where we'll pick up the Skyway. Should be good. I'm here in the town of Bryson City, North Carolina. Ran into a little bit of a snag after I crossed the Great Smoky Mountains National Park on US 441. And by the way, if you've never been on that road, it's absolutely spectacular. I didn't record any of the trip because I already have a video in my YouTube channel concerning that. If you want to see what it looks like, look up the Sugarlands Visitor Center trip, and it's pretty well documented in there. Anyway, I went to go charge at a DC fast charger in Cherokee, North Carolina. PlugShare had a user report that one of the DC fast chargers were down, but it turned out both of the DC fast chargers were down. I was on with tech support for probably about 10 minutes and we couldn't get him started. He tried rebooting both the stations, but that didn't help, so he put in tickets for repair. So I had to pull an audible into a level 2 charger here in Bryson City in downtown, right next to the Swain County Heritage Museum in the public parking lot. Free level 2 chargers, so that's pretty cool. I just loaded in my route. I'm gonna try to make it to the Fontana Dam Visitor Center because that is an area that I wanted to see after I went through the Cades Cove one-way road. I didn't realize when I was looking at Google Maps that that road actually had a couple of parts that were underwater that your car had to go through the water on. So that was unfortunate. Still, I think I'll be able to do it. Looking at my current battery projections, and Android Auto does a really good job of projecting. I have state of charge currently 66%, and I'm charging up. And I can get to the Chick-fil-A in Maryville, Tennessee, which has a level 2 charger with 6%, which includes a Fontana Dam Visitor Center and the Cherohala Skyway route. All that seems to be achievable. I'm just going to charge up a little bit more for comfort level and then get on the way.
7 inches of rain in 7 hours.
We're at 5,390 feet of elevation, and my Android Auto is saying I've got about 20 plus miles to go in order to get to the waterfalls that I want to go see. And I'm going to arrive at 34% state of charge, which is all fine and good, but the strange thing is that I'm currently at 34% state of charge, which must mean that I'm at the peak. I'm going to be start going downhill and start doing a regen between here and there. Anyway, sure is spectacular up here. 2-lane road, a lot of motorcyclists. It's about 65 degrees and sunny. Just a beautiful spring day here in the Smokies. Place called Bald River Falls, which was a bit of a dogleg off the Cherohala Skyway. Seems very popular. Ton of people here.